What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And you are listening to what could be one of the last Liquid Kernedges you will ever hear today.
It very well could be. I mean, but by the time this releases, one or both of us could be in totally different scenarios, buddy.
It's true. I mean, absolutely. Anything is possible. And once they announce those Mega Millions numbers, if you never hear from me again, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Not you, Jason. Like wherever we're backdraft. Where I go,
yeah,
you go.
Yeah.
If I get to retire on that, you get to retire on
You go. Yeah. Well, the reason why, for those of you who might be living in a cave or under a rock, as of this recording, they're estimating that the Mega Millions jackpot will give at least one person, possibly more, but at least somebody has a chance of winning $1.7 billion.
That is crazy.
And I did some research to keep this in a perspective that if someone would win $1.7 billion, they will instantly go from no one to one of the top 400 richest people in the world.
Wow.
Overnight. Yeah.
Wow.
So not that that's from a list or anything, but I did some research because I thought that would be crazy. I mean, to go from being just some person off the street that bought a $2 ticket to being a multi-billionaire.
God, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
You know, it's very possible that you might be worth more than Donald Trump.
Well, that's not hard these days.
But still, from going from just a normal person like me to being richer than Donald Trump, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's amazing. So I guess the first question I have to ask you, and I'm going to ask our listeners, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Kernedge. Tell us, if you won the Powerball or the Mega Millions, what would you do with the money? But Jason, I pose that question to you. Well, if you win this Mega Millions, what would you do?
So this is where the conversation started for me on Friday, because we were talking about it. We had bought our ticket. The drawing hadn't come up yet on Friday when we bought the ticket. So we were just talking. It was $1 billion on Friday, right? So we were just talking amongst between Noreen and I, and we said, "Oh man, it'd be great. We'd have so much money. Blah 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 blah. We could buy everything." But then it's got to start thinking, because the first thing is, I don't know if I would tell a soul. I don't think I would tell a soul. I don't think I would quit my job right away. I don't think I would do anything until I had a plan together. Because when you're talking, even if you're talking, $600 million, that's a large amount of money, but it's a manageable situation. When you're talking, almost $2 billion, which is what they're going to be estimating this next Mega Millions is going to be, about $1.7 billion. I think for me, the first thing I would do is I wouldn't do anything. I would stay very calm. I wouldn't tell anyone. I wouldn't get involved with anybody until I had a chance to think through it. And frankly, there's a lot to think about. If you just took it, because it's easy to say, "Oh, I'd buy cars and I'd buy houses and I'd buy my friends this and I'd take care of this."
Yeah.
But then you start getting into, okay, how many cars? Like, I'm not a car person, so maybe one, maybe two. Yeah.
So
I wouldn't buy anything. I don't think I'd buy anything right away.
See, that's your direction, and while I can agree with that completely, and I would probably take a similar route, I can tell you right now, if I won that kind of cash, I would do what every Arizonan would want me to do. I would buy back the Phoenix Suns, and I would make us great again.
Oh, gosh, where were you Friday night, dude? This is what I'm talking about, man. Oh,
that's what I would do.
Gosh.
I would get rid of that sandbagging, over-meddling owner we have, and I would buy it back, and I would give the Suns back to Arizona. We would be a contender again. I would pay the money to get the guys in there that know how to play the game, how to build the team, and how to win the championships. It's time to bring a winner to Arizona.
Wow,
Now, I would love to do that for the Cardinals, but they're in enough turmoil right now. I need to let that price drop a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. The price is still, for the Cardinals, is still going to be in the $2-3 billion range. You could definitely You could definitely secure some serious financing, though.
Yeah, absolutely. If I came in with that, oh yeah.
Here, I want to get a down payment on the team. How much do you need to borrow? Oh, you've got 1.6 billion. Okay, yeah, yeah. We'll loan you the money. We'll loan you the money.
But as far as I'm concerned, like in a scenario like that, when you have that kind of cash, you need to reinvest that so you keep making money. And what better way to do that than to invest in something that's going to make you that kind of cash?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You look at Jerry Jones. He bought the Dallas Cowboys for $1 billion, and back in those days, that was a hell of a lot of money. And
no, it was $100 million what he bought them for.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they're worth over. They're one of the most expensive franchises now. But when he bought them back in like the late '80s, they were pretty bad. So I want to say it was maybe $100 million what he paid, but it still wasn't.
I thought he still paid close to $1 billion for that team.
No. Back then, teams would only go for about $100 million,
wow.
$150 million.
Well, that's a serious return on your investment. So if you have the time, you know what, Scott, that's such a good idea because, one of the things I concern myself about is, most people, when they're trying to build their wealth, they get to $1 million, they want to get 2, then they want to get 4, then, they want to grow it. Mm-hmm. When you get 1.7 billion, is there really an incentive to grow it? I mean,
no.
Basically,
well, what else do you do with it? No, you don't need to do that.
Now, Mark Cuban would say, yeah, you grow it to 3 billion, you grow it to 7 billion, you grow it or whatever. And there are people like Warren Buffett who've grown their monies too. For me, I don't know if I would need to grow it. Like, I don't have any aspirations then to, go wild and crazy on investments.
No. See, the way I see it though, and this is my line of thinking, because you still need to have some kind of industry, because we're both relatively young guys, all things considered. I cannot retire. As much as I'd love to say I could retire at 37, I know I can't. But if I invested in something like the Phoenix Suns, and basketball's always been a big passion of mine. I've always loved the Suns. Even when they're terrible and I'm not watching them, I'm still an Arizona boy at heart. So I would submerge myself into that culture, learning everything about the game, how they scout players, how they do salary caps, how they do everything. I would want to learn it, man. I wouldn't want to get my hands on it. I want to pay someone to make those big decisions until I figured it out. But I would be in there. I'd start as the coffee boy, even though I'm the owner, and just work my way up.
Scott, oh man. See, this is why you should win the lottery, because you would know exactly what to do with it. I was struggling all night on Friday, not knowing what I would do with the money.
Oh yeah, that's one thing. We've always joked about, well, if I win the lottery and it's that kind of cash, everybody we know gets to retire. Our social circle gets to retire. But fact of the matter is that's easier said than done. Everyone has different lifestyles they become accustomed to. But this way, you're creating industry. You're giving everybody the opportunity to learn something in professional sports and take that for whatever they want to do with it.
What would you think would be reasonable for your friends?
Like if to help them out with
something? How do you determine what would be an appropriate or reasonable gift, if you want to call it that, to your friends?
Yeah, that's a good
because
question.
There's a lot of people. I'm sure that a lot of people run into, a lot of these lottery winners who go broke in 2 years. One of the biggest mistakes they make is the circle of friends that used to be 10 turned into like 8,000 or something like that. They started just giving money away right and left. And then next thing you know, all the friends have the money and you got nothing.
And that's the thing is I know who my inner circle is. And I would honestly, I think for me, a fair gift is I'll pay off your debt. Whatever debt you have is gone.
Oh.
So JP, your school loan's gone. Dean, Danielle, your house is taken care of. Edgeworth, whatever issues you want, I'll still spot you $1 million. You can figure it out.
Okay, so you've come up with a number in your head. Like, okay, so we're gonna put you in the spot. Okay, 1.7 billion. Okay. First of all, do you take the lump sum or 50%, or the lump sum or the payments?
If I'm gonna buy the Suns, I'm probably gonna need to just take the tax hit and take the lump sum.
Yeah. Now they say that the lump sum is still going to get you like $1 billion. So it's not like you're like you're going to be like broke, but
yeah, exactly. Like, oh, damn it. I'm going to miss that whole Saudi island. I was going to try to buy off Dubai, no, that's not the case at this point. I think $1 billion, if you can't figure out how to live off $1 billion or reinvest it, there's something wrong with you.
So first of all, you're going to take the lump sum payment. So they say, okay, where would you like that wired to?
Mm-hmm. I'd have to set that up.
Wells Fargo.
I'm sorry.
Where do you put that kind of money?
My bank's only FDIC insured for $100,000 per account. So it's a little bit more than that. So I'm gonna need some help with that, like Charles Schwab, like Edward Jones. Like someone needs to tell me, how does this work?
Well,
because you don't know. Does it go to my Acorn account?
And I have to think that there are probably specialists in the investment industry who handle these kinds of situations. Like, I'm not sure that every Edward Jones representative would know what to do with, I just got $1 billion. How do I invest it? Exactly. I mean, because let's be honest, most people don't ever come to them with, I mean, hell, most people don't even come into them with $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Absolutely. So what do you do with that? I mean, there's a lot of time and discussion and planning you have to do to kind of get this all figured out.
Yeah. And I always wondered, how do you, I mean, if someone doesn't have an investment person they trust, how does someone choose an investment person? Because you know that when you say to any investment person, oh, I've got $1 billion I need to invest. Oh, their eyes are lighting up. Oh, I got the greatest investments for you. It's going to be great. I'm so happy. How do you trust?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's say you found, we'll say Edward Jones. You put your $1 billion into Edward Jones. And then do you go to Robert Sarver and say, here, I want to buy the team? Or do you say, okay, I've got to take care of family and friends first?
I would go to Sarver. I would say straight up, like, hey, man, I know how you pushed out Colangelo. It's time that we just point blank, man. I know you like money. Let me help you. I'll show you the door. I'll give you my money. You get the fuck out. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
And do you think he would take your billion and a half?
I think he'd be dumb not to. He bought the team for $400 million. $400 million. If I offered him, we'll say $1.1 billion for the team. Wow. You're almost tripling your investment at that point. Why the hell would you not?
That's true. And then you get to kick him out, get him out. Then you start making your changes.
Absolutely.
When do I get my million? I didn't hear that part. So you used all your money now to buy the team. Your friends get fucked. Is that what you're telling me?
No, you guys get employed. Jason, you get employed.
I want to work for the Suns. I'm sorry, the Kern Suns. I got it. Yeah.
You don't want to work for the Phoenix Suns? You don't want an executive position in IT? You don't want to learn the analytics for 6 figures a year?
Yeah, maybe. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess maybe.
You don't want to travel with the team. You don't want to be one of those insiders that gets to do all the cool shit, and you have a cake job for.
I got to admit, that wouldn't be too bad, I guess. Yeah, I could see that.
I'm telling you, man, that's where it's at.
So basically, you wouldn't give us cash. You'd say, look, I just bought the Suns. JP, how would you like to make a 6-figure salary, basically just being director of pessimism and
cheerleaders?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, God.
Just don't get hit with a sexual harassment suit. We're fine. But you figure out where everyone's strengths are, and you try to find a spot for them on the team that they can make a good salary. They're taken care of, and they're going to work their ass off for you. Because let's be honest, if we could all do something like that in an industry that's $1 billion industry, how could you say no?
It'd be tough, I guess. I don't know. What would you do for your parents though? Because they probably wouldn't. They'd be part of the board of directors, right? They just get a flat salary each year just to be on the board of directors.
And I'll be honest, man. I don't think my parents would care to do much. They're already retired, doing just fine.
Yeah,
they're accustomed to the lifestyle they're in.
Yeah,
and they're literally they're set up. Like, I'd offer them, like, hey, do you want a condo down in Phoenix? Like, what do you want? What do you need? Your healthcare's taken care of now, so boom.
Yeah, you got that.
But I'm not sure what else, because they work their asses off to get to retirement. So I think if I did that, it's all gravy to them. I mean, they don't really need, they have whatever car they want. They have a house in Williams, a house here in town.
Right.
If they want a condo somewhere else, the Beagle gets taken care of.
Yeah, well,
so
that's
fine.
Good. That's good. Yeah. So since I didn't think about that, I would probably try to buy the Rams, but they're probably not for sale at $1 billion.
No, they're probably about $3 billion
Damn
right now
it.
in climbing. Stan Kroenke's got he's got them invested really well right now. They're in a good spot.
Yeah, they're a pretty good spot. Okay. So here's one of the things that we ran into a problem with is because we would want, like Noreen and I would want to take care of our kids, but the question becomes, how do you take care of them financially? Because if you give them a lump sum, like what's an appropriate amount to give if you're worth 1.7 billion, let's say, and you give each of your kids $5 million, for most people, $5 million, you'll never have to work again, right? You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, if you invest it right. But if you invest it right, absolutely.
But then the opposite side is, well, wait a minute, you're worth $1.7 billion. So your $5 million to each kid's only $20 million. Like, what are you going to do with the other $1.68 billion? You know?
Yeah, they need it. They can sit and wait, man. That's your life to live. That's their inheritance, or however you want to decide to do it. As far as I'm concerned, the fact that they're getting $5 million should be a complete bonus to them. It shouldn't be. They shouldn't feel entitled.
Okay. And how much? Let me this as a friend. If one of your friends won the lottery, would you feel obligated that, or would you feel like entitled to? You're gonna hook me up a little bit.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. I mean, if they did, great. But if they didn't, if they said, "No, I'm kind of selfish. I want the money," I'd be.
But there's a pride level, like just on myself as an individual. Like, I don't feel like I need to ask you for money. It's like I've worked hard to get where I'm at, to get what I have, and I don't want to have to come to you and say, well, because you wanted, I deserve a piece of that because I was your friend.
Yeah,
that's fucked up. I'd be pissed if someone did that to me. Like, no, fuck you, man. If I'm going to give you money, I'm going to give you money. I'm not going to sit here and hope and pray that you decide to.
No, yeah, well, and that's the other thing too is when you win $1.6 billion. It's going to be almost obvious that, hey, I'm doing this amazing thing. I know you guys can't afford to do it, so I'm going to buy you the ability to do it, right? I mean, like if I'm worth 1.7 billion and I said, hey, we're going on I don't know, a cruise around the world, or we're going to a cruise to Iceland or something like that. We want you to come. Oh, how much is tickets? Oh, they're about 15,000, 20,000 a piece. Oh, it's a little out of my price range. Hey, no worry about it. I'm going to cover you. Bam, done.
Yeah, that's taken care of. That's no big deal. That's completely different. That's fine. If that's it. Like, hey, man, let's go see a baseball game in every stadium this summer. Yeah, done. Man, I'll get the motorhome and we'll get the plane and we'll go.
Oh yeah,
that's not that big a deal. That's a drop in the bucket.
But there's another example. You just became 1.7 billion. Would you ever buy a plane ticket on a commercial plane again, or do you just buy your own plane or rent your own plane?
I would probably just buy my own plane.
Yeah. I mean, so you're when you get 1.7 billion, your life is going to be a hell of a lot different. And the bigger concern is what kind of people would work now wanting to be your friend.
And that's fine. Everyone's entitled to want to be my friend and your friend, but again, as independent adults, it's up to us to decide that person should or should not be in our life.
Yeah.
And just because I won $1.7 billion and so comes out and they want to be my friend, or someone's trying to get a free ride. No, that doesn't mean you're going to stick around. Because I could think of a handful of people right now that would come out of the woodworks I haven't talked to or seen in years. Like, oh, hey, what's up, buddy? No, fuck you.
You're dead to me, boy.
You're dead.
Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take your $1 million and I'm going to burn it right in your face. Now I'm going to burn it because I'm going to urinate on it and then have my chauffeur dry it off, and I'll use it later.
And that's it. It's that old saying. It's like, what's the old saying? Like, if you don't love me when I have nothing, why should I think you'd love me why would I want you to love me when I have everything?
Yeah.
That's the case. I don't care for people that come out of the woodwork to you when it's good. Oh, and who are the ones that are there when it's bad?
Well, and you got to think that some of these people who won lotteries, that's exactly what happens. And the other thing that I think about too is how many of these families break apart because one kid thinks, well, I got 2 million, I should have got 4 million because I'm the better child, or I should have got this, I should have got that. Money has a way of making people weird, man. Money has a way of making people
I
weird.
agree. I agree. And I'll tell you what, man. If I won that Mega Millions like that, I would bring my own condoms everywhere because I don't trust anybody else's. I'm making sure there's no pinholes in them. Ain't nobody trying to become
Scott Kern Jr.
I'm nobody's payday.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. I am nobody's payday.
Okay.
Of course, at that point, I don't care either. I could pay for the kid. I'll just file for custody for him and take him along.
Well, like I said, you got to be careful there too because they pay it on your income. You own the sons. Oh, you're gonna be paying a shit ton, dude. You will be paying a crap ton per month and child support.
Oh no, don't worry. I'll just get custody at that point.
There we go.
I mean, I'm assuming if you buy a professional basketball team, it comes with lawyers.
Yeah. I think that was the one thing that Noreen and I had a general consensus in. We have a lawyer friend here in Phoenix who deals with very high-end clientele, and we would definitely recruit his services to get us started on the path of what's the best way to handle this. Having that trusted advisor to say, okay, so on the investments, you need to go talk to these two people, and on this stuff, you got to do this, and having someone that you can trust like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this. So this is a question that stumped me. Now that you can live anywhere, where would you make your main residence?
My main residence? That's a good question.
Would you stay in Kingman? Would you put your $1 million home in Kingman?
I'd put $1 million home in Kingman. I don't know.
Yeah, it was tough. It's tough.
I don't know.
Because I could see myself wanting to buy a house in Austin, Texas, to be closer to Ricky. I could see myself buying a couple condos like in Boston and Chicago, and buying a couple of places to kind of San Diego. Having a couple nice little pads to go to. But where would I make my roots? That's tough, man.
I would probably keep my roots in Arizona, but I definitely have some houses on the coast, Idaho. Man, I gotta say, I'd probably end up in like a Prescott Valley. Someplace that's kind of central to everything. I might buy a house on the side of Jerome.
God, wouldn't that be fun?
I still. That's the thing is I still prefer small towns.
Okay.
I prefer smaller environments. So I don't mind the big city, but I don't need to be immersed in it. I still like to be able to get out. So I would say I'd probably end up somewhere on the outskirts. Still.
Yeah. Noreen and I said that we probably would stay here in Phoenix just because it's centrally located for us. It's got the airport. It's got all the amenities that we like. It's a good little town. It's a big town, but it's a good town to be kind of where our roots would be. And then we'd have places all around. Noreen said the one thing that she would splurge on is she would do a road trip for a few months across the country. Just go drive to a place, kind of explore a little bit, drive to another place, and just see the country.
Really? That's what you splurge on? What would you splurge on?
I had a tough one on this too because part of me wants to build my replica of the Monticello, but Noreen is fighting me on that, saying I don't understand why you need to build a house that's already been built. So
I do agree there on that. That is a little weird.
Hey, this is my 1.7 billion, man.
Yeah, that's fine. You do what you want to do. You do you.
You do me. You do you.
Do you. You do you.
It's hard because I don't know what I would splurge on. I think I would buy a really nice car. Not a sport like a Maserati, like a, what do you call those, like Lamborghinis or something, but I think I would definitely buy a nice car.
I would like for my splurge, I would honestly buy, maybe it's in Big Bear, but I would buy one of those houses on a lake in the mountains.
Oh yeah.
Like a 2-story cabin on the lake with the boat dock. You can eat fish and boat in the summertime, but it's still cool to kind of go out there and watch in the wintertime. Yeah. That's what I would do.
You know what else I think I would splurge on going forward? When I go to a concert, I'm meeting the person. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like if I want to go see Five Finger Death Punch, I'm hanging out with them afterwards, and we're partying. Because when you become 1.6 billion, think about this: you are now are now wealthier than the Kim Kardashians and the Kylie Jenners and any of those people.
Oh,
LeBron,
yeah. And don't get me wrong.
LeBron James
Don't get
is
me
now
wrong.
your bitch, okay? LeBron James is now your bitch. Like, you go to LeBron and say,
don't get me wrong.
Dude, put your chump change away. I got $1.7 billion.
I like Five Finger Death Punch, so I didn't mean to say, look, I've seen them in concert a couple times. They're a good band, but I'm right there with it. You want to party with me? Party with them. For me, like I feel like I'd have to do a humanitarian thing also.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I would probably buy a couple hundred acres, probably here around Kingman, and I would fence it all off, dude. And I would have a no-kill animal shelter.
Wow.
Like all those dogs you see, all those pets you see that people just give up or strays, get them vaccinated, get them taken care of, give them a place to stay, have a caretaker, and they roam free.
Oh,
they roam free all over the acres.
The one thing that Noreen and I said we both agreed on immediately, we would give the Beale Street Theater the $1 million to get it built.
Oh,
that would
nice.
be our one charitable thing that we said that we would give to the Beale Street Theater, and then it could get built because we believed in the project, and we hope that obviously we're not there to help with some of the other things, but if we had $1 million to say, here, get the Beale Street Theater built, that's one thing of charity we would do.
That's very sweet. I saw they're having a masquerade ball in November.
Yeah, I heard a fancy dinner now.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Ben and I my assistant and I were talking about that today. It's very sweet of them. Well, it's a very nice attempt.
They're trying. They're trying.
They're trying. They're trying.
They don't have my $1 million yet, so I'm still working on it.
I know.
Hey,
they got to earn it. They got to earn it.
Scott, let's be honest. It would change not only my life and Noreen's life. It would have a impact on our kids and our immediate friends. Like I said, I don't even know what would be inappropriate, but when you have $1.7 billion, giving $1 million to each of our close friends, it wouldn't even be anything.
No, it would. It'd be nothing.
It'd
be like you lending them $1,000 in today's world.
Or let me ask you this question. Okay, so let me ask. This is a question I had for you too. Would you rather me give you $1 million and let you do what you want, or set up like a annuity that pays you, $50,000 a year extra income for the rest of your life?
I would probably go with an annuity.
I think I would too. If someone said, hey, like I was thinking about the kids, it's like, I'd rather just give you, okay, you will have $10,000 a month for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Or
I think
here's $5 million and that's it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I think the annuity is just a better way to go. It's more responsible. It's not as sexy, but you have steady income coming in no matter what.
The only thing that's hard about the annuity is it's not necessarily life-changing. Like if you got an extra let's say you got an extra $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, let's say, whatever. Mm-hmm. Would you quit working?
If I got another $4,000 a month, so it's another $48,000 a year on top of what I'm doing. No, because I'm only making $48,000 a year.
That's what I mean. So it's not like you would quit working. So
no, I still got to work.
So what would be life-changing? What would be a gift that would be life-changing for you?
If I'm making $15,000 a month on an annuity, that would be life-changing because I could survive on 5 and bank the other 10.
Okay.
And go forward like that.
So you think $15,000 a month, which let's be honest is only $180,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's not. We're not talking millionaire money. We're not talking millionaire money. No. But you think $15,000 a month would be enough for the rest of your life?
Like, listen. Yeah, I think it's a great start.
No, but would you work? Would you work if you got $15,000 a month?
Probably still,
okay.
Yeah.
So what? Let's try it one more time. We have a little bit of time left. What would be the amount of money in a gift? Once I win this, I want to be able to set this up for you. What would be the amount of money in a month that you would get in income that would say, you know what, I am not going to work anymore because I have this investment that's going to pay me blah, blah, blah for the rest of my life?
25
G's. Okay. 25 G's.
Yeah.
All right. And that is, it's about $5 million invested. Because I could get about 5% on some, security that paid you 5% a year. And that'd be, okay. All right. 25 G's a month. All right, let's do it, man. You're covered. So basically, once I win the lottery, I'll get you taken care of at $5 million a month. That'll get you $5 million invested, get you $25,000 a month. All right, I'll try to do that. I'll try to do that.
Deal. What about you? What can I do for you? Could you do that same deal?
I gotta be honest. If you got me the same deal, $25,000 a month, I definitely would reevaluate what kind of work I wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I would still, just to have some kind of industry, I'd still find something to do.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I wouldn't,
I'm with you, brother.
That's a good conversation. So, like I said earlier in the show, hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. If you win this Mega Million, you win the Powerball, what would you do with the money? Would you help make Liquid Kernedge a nationwide, worldwide show more than just a podcast? We think you should. What would you do with our executive EP, Tom? Hit him up at Twitter at liquid_EP. What advice would you give Tom? What would you do for Tom?
I know what I would do for Tom. I would set him up so that every year he'd go to that country show, Country Thunder, and party like a rock star.
Yeah, I'd actually buy.
Yeah, exactly. I would buy him tickets to go and meet all those people, and be cooler than just like listening to them. He would meet them. He'd have the backstage pass. So, Tom, that's our gift to you. That's the Liquid Kernedge gift to you, buddy.
We appreciate that. Well, good show today, man. All right, why don't you go ahead and take us home?
All of you out there who are going to be looking for becoming an instant billionaire, we appreciate you listening. We hope that once you win, you'll still listen to us. We'll have to figure out if we win, if we still do the podcast, but that's another topic at another time. That was Scott. I am Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Kernedge.